I wanted to come up here today and visit an old friend, Nick Miller. He passed away about last year at this time, and he's a friend of the family. He's a pretty big guy, really nice human being, good human being, and talking about people in my life that have made a difference. I had a neighbor give me a lot of problems, and had to put a fence up, and nobody would help me. Nick here did. He came out, and I paid him, of course, but big man here helped me out. It meant a lot to put a full fence up in one day and get all those panels in. That would have taken me normally having to hire somebody, and I was in a jam because what my neighbor was doing to me was pretty awful and pretty crazy. Didn't make any sense to me, but Nick here was he came through, and he fell a couple months later, and he died. And I think about him a lot because this is one person you think in your life, your true brothers. It's one of them. Now, we're not related by blood, but Nick helped me out when nobody else would. It means a lot. It really does. So I wanted to take this moment, just come up here to this massive cemetery. It took me forever to find it. It goes on for a mile that way. And it's up on this really cold hill overlooking the ridge. I wanted to really send my thanks to that gentleman in particular because very few people in life will be there for you when you have something like that. And at the time he had some problems of his own he was dealing with. So I'll catch him later. It'll be a long time later. I think of being one of those old cowboy stories about, you have a fallen friend and you travel forever just to see them. And I think that Nick was a modern kid, but in a lot of ways I thought of him as a cowboy because he was an outlaw. He was a person that I get teared up, I'm sorry. Thinking of people like that. He was somebody that helped you out if you needed it. His word was his bond, and if he considered you a friend, you were one. You don't have people like that too much these days. You have people that want and take and do whatever they have to. But I'm not saying Nick was always perfect. But that day putting that fence up, it was a hot day in August, and we put that up in one day, all 15 panels. And afterwards, he said to me, he says, "You think that that'll hold?" I said, "Yeah, it'll hold." This is, I know how to put a fence up, and I taught him a few things. Okay, taught him a few things about putting a fence in, and he just he had a great time. I gave him a couple of my old Yingling Lord Chesterfields, and he went home and he said to me a couple of days later, he said, "That's a really good beer." I said, "Yeah, it is." Thinking of Nick. It's always good to be grateful. You got to take time in life to reflect on the people that have been there for you. The people that when you needed help, they were there for you and you've been there for them. So whenever I get a chance to come up here, I always stop at Nick's grave. And it's kind of funny, I was just sitting there before I did this video and thinking about him, and I said, "No, Nick, there's no way that you could tell me, but I wish there was a way you could." And there's an angel there with a bell on it, and it just started ringing, like it wasn't even the wind, it just started ringing. I thought, okay, yeah, you did. So I'm gonna tell you something. I just did a little bit of thoughtful searching lately. I mentioned Doc Kimmick the other day and a few other people, but it's always good sometimes to think about the people you've known of your friends, and it kind of makes you remember who the hell you are. All right.